What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another War of Dots video. Today we have two games for you. I've got a single player 1 versus 1 and a other game which is a 1v1v1. And so we'll jump right into it. I wanted to take a moment while we get this going to say that I'm sorry for the week of absences of videos. I was on vacation with the in-laws and the wife in Phoenix camping, so had a good time there. Very hot, very hot. Let me know if I have anybody that lives in Phoenix in the comments down below. But I had originally said I was going to create some videos while I was gone, to sort of post while I was away, but you know, work and things got in the way and I didn't get to do that. So I apologize for that, but I'm back, and the War Dutch content should keep coming as long as I've got time to sort of sit down and play these long games. And you will see we have a long one here, so, or a long one in the second game. First game's not actually so bad. So, as I say, first game, 1 vs 1. That killer, the Conqueror in red, and me in the blue. We're on a 6-city map, so basically what that's going to mean is I'm going to produce 3 units. And the reason for that is because if I produce 3 units and have all of my cities covered, I will still be making 3 funds a turn. So that means that I can have 3 cities unoccupied and still be level flat on funds, which basically means that I can rotate them from my front line to my cities, which allows me to keep everything the way I want it. So anyway, yeah. So I'll just show you that now. We're at 169. All my cities are covered. I've produced 3 units, and we're up to 172. So we're making 3 a turn. So I can rotate off of these cities here, keep my funds going, and have plenty of troops to go around. So we're gonna work on that now. I start with the aggressions just in the center of the line. I noticed that he weakened this topper line. I probably could have attacked up there instead, but I like my chances with this close city, so I decided to attack down here, just down there with that city by the rock down south, just because it's a better look. So anyway, as we're doing this, I continue to rotate troops, make our funds work, and I will say, so I originally played these games, and then obviously I went into the replay, reviewed them with commentary and the mouse movement that you're seeing now, and for some reason OBS had lost my headset mic source, so I recorded this full video with no commentary. So now I'm watching the edited version and basically commentating over it. So if my mouse movements don't quite line up with my command, with what I'm saying, then that's why. So apologies for that. Anyway, continue with the game. Rotating troops back and forth, being as smooth with it as possible, keeping my morale as high as possible. Notice him down in that center there. He's pulling it out now, but troops are all low morale, and I'm still bringing in fresh troops. But yes, that one that I just zoomed in on, he let it get way too low. It shouldn't ever get that low. And then he's actually trapped a unit there in the center. So he's going to have to do some maneuvering right there to get that guy out, which is a big problem for him. So I actually end up moving another unit from my upper line because he's got that gap there. And so I can leave a gap there and not have to worry too much about it because it's an equal amount. So we lose funds for a second as I'm rotating many units on and off at a time here, but once I get this guy back on, we'll be good. The unit up north on the city is also not on properly, which is a mistake for me, but doesn't matter because he's got low morale troops there. I've got high morale, high health, high morale, and he's sitting there with troops all with low morale and just not very great rotation, and he's keeping his cities empty. Which is a bad idea just for fund and troop management in general. So he lets that troop get way too low. I don't even know if he saves it. I have some slightly lower troops, but nope, he doesn't. I kill it there. I have some slightly lower troops, but I'm able to sort of get out of it by just rotating a fresh one in, and he's not as prepared to do that as I am, and mine are getting rotated quicker in general. So he does start rotating some healthier troops in, but he didn't produce as many troops as me, I don't believe. He's making 2 a turn while having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cities covered. Maybe he did produce. unit or two. I didn't catch it, so let me know in the comments how many units he produced if you saw it in the beginning of the video. Anyway, regardless, he just has weaker units everywhere, and I have a lot of stronger units everywhere, which is allowing me to do more damage, as the 10,000 casualty lead that I have right now suggests. So this is his first major blunder. He pulls all of his troops out of the middle there, which is going to allow easy 2-on-1s. When there's a gap in the line, you can always go 2-on-1s in the corners of the line. So it takes me a second, but there we go. 3-on-1 there. And then once I get a backup troop there, we go 2-on-1 there. And now I have this troop here to meet his inevitable counter push. And there you go. When you get underneath an opponent, basically, when you get under his line or over his line, and basically meaning that you have more troops at the top of his line or the bottom of his line than he does, your 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s, etc., will be much easier to attain, simply because you have that extra advantage at the top. Even if the rest of your troops are just doing 1-on-1s, that's fine. You can leave them be while you gain the advantage and slowly take out his units from the top, which makes 2-on-1s easier down the line. So that's sort of an offensive philosophy you can follow. As I continue to rotate my troops, he's pulling everyone off of his cities now as best he can. I still have plenty of happy things going on, but I'm also killing his heavy units, so that's a big blow for him. Takes 7 full minutes to make a heavy unit and let it heal all the way from scratch to start, so that's going to be a problem. He's letting his heavy units die. You don't want that. I'm rotating heavy units off and on, trying to make sure that I keep everything how I want it. And he does send in a big group right here, but it's not coordinated. He should be pulling this heavy out and putting that healthy unit that he has in the back there in. They're not all attacking right now, so it's not worth it. I actually even pull another unit from the north line just because I know that he's probably not going to attack there. He's worried about his defense in this mid/southern line. And so we're continuing a 2-on-1 in this heavy down to the south. He's got trapped units here. They're much lower than my units are. He does bring in a replacement unit for the heavy that died a second ago. But it's fine because I brought in 2. So he starts this naval attack there, as I'm pointing out. For some reason, he sends a boat all the way around, which is just a unit suicide. I mean, it just kills, it just destroys the unit. It dies so fast, as you'll see when it arrives. But I've got 3 of his units on the ropes. 1 goes down. A second one is about to fall. It's just, I mean, it's you would not be a male aged 8. You would not want to be a male aged 18 to 25 in Dot Killer's Kingdom at this point. We rotate 2 units out at a time on purpose because I have the fillers for them. Usually I do that on accident and it pisses me off to no avail, but to no end, excuse me, but not in that case. So, oh look, his naval invasion, it's landed. The unit's already dead. Like, what was the point of that? That was just a wasted unit. And then he sends another unit up, looking to see if he can snipe a city and secure a win that way with a secret little city snipe, which is actually not a terrible idea. Doesn't work. And so at this point, his southern line has crumbled. He sent some reinforcements in there, but when you send reinforcements somewhere, what does that do for the rest of your lines? I lose a unit, unfortunately, but I get 2 back. And anyway, when you send reinforcements to one direction, then the other spots of your line do not get as much love. So he tries to go in here. I just sit there and take it. I'm not really scared about it as I continue to push. And we're working towards this city here. Units will not be able to heal in that city anymore. His southern line is gone. He's decided to prioritize his midline as he pulls those 2 units up. He's got another unit on the ropes. He's down to 190,000. I am up to 314,000 troops. Just letting my troops stay in a constant state because of the fact that I'm able to rotate. I did lose like 10,000 because I accidentally let those southern units get encircled, which is terrible. Don't be like me. Don't do that. But regardless, like, look at all these healthy troops. I'm trying to even put them all in the line, but I'm having a hard time, like, knowing what to do with them because there's just so many healthy units. It's just hard to find a spot for all of them. So he starts another southern line closer to his city, but at this point I'm attacking this city in the middle there, attacking the southern city, and his midline is gone because he's sent to the southern line once again. So now we get 2-on-1s galore across this line, 3-on-1s as well. And it's just at this point there's pretty much no hope. The city is clearly going to fall. I lose a unit in the process, but it's not a big deal because I'm just simply better. I just simply have more. I have way more troops than he does. Down to 300,000, but we capture 2 cities from him there, and that's when it's over. And remember, it all came from that one blunder of retreating a large gap and allowing a 3-on-1 and a 2-on-1 to occur, and then allowing 3 heavies to die. So he sends this command to just send everybody out, basically conceding the game. And I just push forward and wait till he surrenders, and there it is. So thanks for watching that one. I will see you in the next clip. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another game of War of Dots. This one we got a 1v1v1 free-for-all, and we're going to see what we can do here. So first thing I'm going to do, as usual, is cover my cities. And then for this, for the purposes of this replay, we're going to speed things up just because this game takes a while. So I will say that as I played a lot more free-for-all games, I've noticed that there is definitely a problem when you're the aggressor, and that is that you are very likely to be attacked by both players. Now I've made a video on are these strats actually OP? You can check that out on my channel in the War of Dots gameplay area, and it's basically where you retreat fully on one side and send everybody on the other. Works great sometimes it does not, because even if you have success on one end and you lose a city on the other end, first of all you have a half dead pissed off player, and then you have another player that just took a city from you and is probably at more health than you, more units than you are, because you spent all your time fighting someone who is fully fighting back. So I've been playing a little more passive recently, and that's allowed me to have more success. So for this game, I get attacked first by Blue, who decides to go for a naval invasion, which just kills a unit immediately because it's a naval invasion. What do we know about naval invasions? Leave your comments below. They don't work. So he does that. If I had been smart and paying attention, I would have been sending troops out to try and capture his cities, because he doesn't have any units on his cities, and I should have noticed that at the beginning of the game, but I didn't. Same with Red. I could have tried to press through, make a gap, squeeze back through. They're both here, they just don't have cities. So I poke and prod a little at Red up north earlier, and then now I'm trying to poke and prod at Blue. Just, you know, it's like the little stick figure drawing. Do something, and he's like poking it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. If we can get him mad at me, maybe he'll attack me, which would trigger an assault from Red, hopefully into Blue, because Blue would be the aggressor. Which is generally what would happen. So what happens is if Blue attacks me, his casualties will be higher because he's attacking. Red will see, oh, Blue's casualties and troops are lower and his casualties are higher, so I'll attack him in most cases. So that's what I was trying to get happen. Blue does actually take the bait. He attacks me, and so I just begin my troop rotation. 5-city game, so we produce one unit, rotate as best as we can, and Red begins to push into Blue. And that's what exactly we were hoping to happen. But, spoiler alert, Red is dumb. And Red doesn't know what to do with himself. He doesn't know how he should... He's scared of attacking. He's like the first few Union generals that Lincoln had in the Civil War, you know. Oh my gosh, the enemy, they're fighting me. Retreat, right? Except for this, when he sends all of these units at me for no reason, while I was having success down south, almost stealing Blue's city away. Now this draws my attention away, which is going to require me to retreat units, lose a unit or two, and overall just bad things. So Red does that. He gives up on it real quick and moves on, and now I'm left with the fallout of being attacked. So remember earlier I said, oh, well, he'll see the casualties. Not General Red, bro. Not General Red. Fitting name for the Red player here, as he just ignores the fact that Blue is totally losing and just attacks me. So Blue is sort of doing the strategy where they just have a few units defending their city, and they're going to use that might to attack other people. And so now I'm in a precarious situation, me and Blue. Red has the most troops. I have the second most troops, and Blue has the least troops. I just continue my rotation, not too concerned about the way things are going. I know I can hold out for quite some time. And I'm anticipating a red attack. So I see, obviously, I have Fog of War, so I see this line move. But I'm still recovering from my attack, so I sort of don't do much, try and heal up my units, get my line as extended out as possible so that if I need to make a push on Blue's southern city, I can. And, I mean, basically, we're just kind of chilling because I don't have the advantage. And like I said, I'm trying to be more passive. So, Red goes ahead and draws a circle and has some fun. And he's got an absolutely terrifying row of 7 heavies that he's just messing. He's trolling Jay Neal like, oh, is he going to do it? And I was confused in the actual game at this point because Blue would like send all of his troops away and then send them all back. Yeah, I know why after watching the replay, because Reds has this imposing force of 10 heavies just bearing down on him. He's got 370,000 troops. He produced all heavy units when he had the opportunity. And now he begins his assault. So Blue would have been a perfect opportunity to attack Blue in the south, but I am scared. Meek and mild, I believe, is the expression. Just like Red. And Red retreats. I do nothing. And we're back to square one. Thankfully, I've actually built up enough troops to be in the lead here. Red is coming behind me, and Blue's still way in the rear as he's been being picked on the most. But now that Red stopped attacking, that allows Blue to regenerate his troops and get a better line formed in the south, which is what he had originally. And so I just didn't attack. I didn't do what I should have, pushed forward and been aggressive. So Red is forming some kind of crazy weird thing. He's losing funds, which is a blunder. I have 2,500 funds, and I'm making 2 a turn, so I'm in a good spot as far as funds go. Red attacks again. Blue punches back. Red sends more in, trying to get the encirclement around some of these troops and to get his 2-on-1s by having a wider line, which is generally good battle strategy. If you have a wider line, you'll be okay. Unfortunately, Red has a troop in the top left that is doing nothing, and Blue has an open city right there. Red could have won the game right there by taking that, but he doesn't. I could have won the game by probably being more aggressive here, but I don't. And once again, Fog of War strikes as the main contributor for looking stupid in a replay. I go ahead and probe out to make sure that, because I'm worried that Red's going to steal that city, and I'm going to be left in this slugfest with trying to defend Red from coming down and winning. So I send probes out to see, and this is when I thought, oh, he's got units back there. Because every time I send a probe, I see a unit. So I think his cities are defended. I could have taken that city. Would have been free. But right now I'm just sending troops in to just be annoying. Just to move him around, force him to defend it because he has no other choice. And this is when everything takes a turn for the worst. So Red goes with that attack, fails miserably. Blue sends a counter assault into Red. I encircle 2 of Red's heavies. They die, and I realize that Red is AFK because he didn't do anything to try and save his 2 full health heavy units. So this is when Blue makes a stupid mistake, and I crawl ahead from just sitting here there and kind of watching these guys duke it out. So Blue goes in to take the city. He leaves these units encircled, which is going to cause him to lose a unit. He goes ahead and sends another unit, and they encircle again. I am lucky enough to have a free city there. This unit's going to die to being encircled. That's 2 units dead. I have a city here, so these aren't actually encircled because I've just taken the free city. I go over there. It's a low health heavy unit, so once again, I'm lucky. I start to produce mass amounts of units because I had a fun backlog locked up as I went for my assault. And now I'm going to push towards Blue because I noticed he was encircling himself the whole time. I figured it'd be weak. I encircle myself for a second there, but I got a lot of troops coming in. I try and fix it as soon as I can. You know, we all make that mistake for a second, but Blue just let it happen twice in a row and didn't even care about it. He didn't even try and fix it. So he sends his reinforcements up. He attacks me down south here because he just knows that he's got to do something. I've just gained 2 cities, and I'm sieging one of his gained cities. But I have plenty of units sitting on the old front line with Red to send down and assist. We go up to attack the Red city here. And I take one of Blue's cities there, and this is when it is over. I'd originally been producing heavy units because I was scared to be a slog after Blue got some cities, or Red if Red had succeeded earlier. But it was not to be, for I took that city. Blue left this middle city undefended. I took that. And at this point, it's just too much for blue. I have a significant troop advantage, more cities, an economic advantage, and an intellectual advantage. So, pretty good games. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.